Well, hey everyone, the time has come. We're going to be talking about some nerdy stuff in this episode. This episode, we're going to be talking about my favorite show, The Walking Dead. All right, now I need to give you a disclaimer. If you're young, I would really advise you to talk to your parents before watching this show, or watch it with somebody that's older than you. Why would I talk about this show when we're talking about faith? What does this show have to do with faith and spirituality at all? I think it has a lot to do with spirituality and faith. The context of the show is the zombie apocalypse, which doesn't sound good. Like, hope it doesn't happen in our lifetime or ever. But check it out. Death in this show is portrayed as a real element of life. In our world, we live inoculated from the reality of death. One of my seminary friends named Simon, he's planning a church called Woven in Fresno. Shout out to Woven and Simon. Introduced me to this concept. He said, when you go to the grocery store, the meat that you look at doesn't have blood on it. The meat that we eat doesn't have anything to do with the animal that was killed or prepared for us. And so we live in a world separated from the reality of death. And I believe that that is dangerous. And I believe prophetically, if I can say that, the show, The Walking Dead, calls us into the reality of death. I remember the first time that I really experienced death in my life. I was in 5th grade. I saw my grandpa pass away. And I saw him in that coffin like a week earlier. I was hanging out with grandpa. We were having fun, laughing. I loved my grandpa. In fact, there's a picture of him right there. He's my hero. And I saw him in that coffin, and I've never admitted this to anybody, but I saw him and I was just like, what do I do? You know, like, do I touch him? And so, like, there's a little demon, a little angel on my shoulder, and I see my hands, like, moving over to Grandpa, and I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? They're reaching, and I just went over and I pinched his cheek. And I remember being like, Grandpa, aren't you supposed to be moving? What's going on? Well, he didn't move. That was the first time I really saw death. Now, here's the thing that I think is so important. When we isolate ourselves from the reality of death and the reality that death is a part of life, we damage our souls and we damage our hearts. And here's the real big thing that I want to dive into as we talk about Easter that's coming up this week. Without death, there is no resurrection. Without death, there is no resurrection. See, the seed must die before it becomes a mighty oak. Some of the most amazing humanitarian efforts came from people who had witnessed death from cancer, who had witnessed death from alcoholism in their family. In my own personal life, I love my dad so much, but he had suffered from mental illness for so much and drug addiction from so much. So I lost what it meant. In a certain way, I had a death of a father because I never knew what it was like to have a good, healthy father on earth. And so I dove into the scriptures. I opened them up and I learned about this heavenly Father. And this has led me to my life's ambition and my life's calling to reach as many people with the good news of a good Father as humanly possible. I want as many people to know about this good Father as possible. See, without death, there is no resurrection. And when we deny death, and we deny that it exists in our lives, we hurt our souls. Well, hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I would love your feedback. The whole point of this is I want to have a conversation with you. So leave me a comment. Let's talk about this. Share this around. Hopefully this will bring healing and life and love into your world. We'll see you soon. Bye.